So
I've
look up for
noticed
that
that
on
across the
defense.
league, a lot of these guys that were sitting, say like from the 13 to like 19 range, like the six guys that we do all right, but we don't quite hit the next level. I've seen like leaps and bounds since last like even like January, this last January. Just it's kind of crazy. It's what's one of the parts I like about this the most. You just see the progression of people, competition. It's fun.
Right. Right.
So let's talk about the guy who says everyone sucks. No matter who you say he's playing, he's
Oh
like,
God.
nah, they suck. So let's talk about Jamie. He's 4-3. He's like, well, I think there's only one team in the NFC. The Bears are the only team that are negative in their points differential by, I think, 9. But the Packers, 4-3, they're up at least 80 points on their differential. They're 1-1 on the road, 3-2 at home. What's the schedule looking like for the Packers? They play me week 14, so I know they play the Bucks in week 14. So they probably play like 2 or 3 more division games.
So for the rest of the
Rams.
Packers, he has the Rams week 9. He faces Lip week 10. Follows up Lip with the Vikings. Tough division game right there. Follows that with Iceman Tron and Seahawks. Then week 13 faces the Jets, CPU. Then faces Gatto, 14. Should be good game. Week 15 faces new Redskin users and skills. Week 16 he faces Alpha Slater, which is the Dolphins, and then week 17 finishes off the season playing Miguel and the Bears.
He has a couple of hard games in that schedule.
Yeah, I was gonna say that
like
sounds
everybody
pretty
said,
stiff.
the Rams are always the same. Well, they're all the same division rounds, so pretty much they have the same opponents right now. Rams, Vikings. God is always competitive. He'll give Jimmy a good game out there. I've seen Skills play a couple of games. Yeah.
Go ahead, Los. Go ahead.
I've seen Skills get a couple of good wins in the beginning of the season. I think
he's got some
I think
offense.
he's 4-2 right now, so maybe I could see Skills giving him a tough time. Slater's one of those games where you don't know how he's gonna perform that day, and then his favorite opponent at the end of the season is Miguel. Probably both of them will be trying for a playoff spot, so that's gonna be a good game for them. Yeah.
The thing that I see that can make or break this team is this stretch of 3 games. Facing the Rams, Lions, and Vikings, and
That's
3
a
weeks
schedule.
could make or break this team. He can come out getting some big victories and moment his team, give his team some momentum for the rest of the season, or he can come out with some tough losses that could really put the team morale down and kind of put him in a slump to finish off the season. So I'm big on seeing where the Packers are at week 12 after that 3-game stretch.
Make or break third quarter for the Packers season wise. So let's look at the NFC South. The Falcons at 5-1, Bucks are 4-3, Panthers are 4-3, Saints are 1-5. We got a new user in Atlanta. Panthers and Saints, those are relatively new users. So
let's start off with the new users. Saints. I know Saints is he's a really big Saints fan. He loves his team, and he's really, I talked to him, I think one time at a party, he's talking about rebuilding the team. But he's another one of those users where he's trying to figure it out. He's trying to get it together with his team. And I know that team didn't show up in the draft. CPU really let him down. Take fullback round 1. Kind of team. But I don't think we're playing in the 1940s anymore. Fullbacks in the first round is not a good look.
yeah, I know he probably like to avoid that conversation entirely.
But other new users, Panthers. I know Panthers came out and got a win over Kansas City. At Kansas City blew out the Jacksonville Jaguars. So that could be a show of strength on when he came down and held it down. Other than that, I don't know. Have you guys seen anything out of the Panthers?
I think he's dropped 2 games against Gatto this season. I think Gatto. I don't think did he even score on you? I believe he didn't even score or something.
The first
I
game,
remember.
I threw a pick, and then he had an offensive touchdown. In the second game, I shut him out.
Yeah. So.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
he's
I
had
haven't
2 good.
seen anything too much.
I know he's had let's see what he's had wins against. Saints, Giants, Ravens, Steelers.
Now that Giants win, that could be a legit win for him. That could be a launchpad win.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
held
because I know
Giants
Giants
to 3
Giants
points.
is a pretty good user.
Yeah, Giants made playoffs last year.
Panthers,
He's been
I'll
playing
give him
good.
this, man. He knows how to read a play. He's a good user, but just sometimes he'll overcommit a little bit, and it'll put him out of position. He needs to learn the balance of the usering a little bit more, and I think he'll be fine.
So the gamble is real in Carolina.
Risking it for the biscuit.
Yeah. I think what we saw earlier wasn't it today? We were looking at the injuries. Had lost McCaffrey and
Yeah.
McCaffrey and Newton are down. His 2 best offensive pieces are down
Oh,
for
no.
Newton's down for
That's
3
hard.
weeks and McCaffrey's down for 5. So he might. I don't know if anybody can replace them on that team. Do they still have Jonathan Stewart out there?
I don't know.
I believe, if I'm not mistaken, he does still have Jonathan Stewart.
Yeah. So he has Case Keenum right now at the helm of his team, and I mean Case Keenum was a starter for the Rams the last couple of years. Yeah, it looks like he still has Jonathan Stewart out there. So I don't know if you can count on those 2 guys getting a lot of production for you.
No, at this point in Carolina, you're just hoping to just get some basic scheme stuff down until you get your guys back and come out of the water, like just barely keeping your head up. I mean, if you don't have your superstar running back and quarterback, I don't really know who he has on the outside to alleviate the pressure. I don't know who on the O-line's going to really pave a way for him. That could be some muddy offense, but defense can pave a way. Kuechly might step up,
Yeah, Kuechly's still he's probably the best defender in Madden. Okay. He's gonna win you games just on his pure ability to read plays and make plays for you.
Right. We can switch over. We'll skip Gatto. Leave Gatto last. Go to the Falcons. I haven't really seen a lot of the Falcons. I know it's a new user, but I haven't seen enough on the Falcons to even speak on the team. So if any of you guys have, any thoughts?
I have no idea about the new user.
I think he joined on a bye week. If I'm correct, he had a bye week last week.
Yeah.
He joined. So he hasn't even got to use his team yet.
Okay.
So I'm guessing he's still new. But with that roster, you could see him winning a couple of games.
For sure.
I think right now with we can segue into the next topic with the way with the new users in Gatto's division and injuries to his opponent. It's probably Gatto's division to lose.
Yeah.
I was gonna make a similar statement. I'm 3-1 in division right now. I'm coming out of my bye week playing the Saints, and then the last week of the season I play the Falcons. So barring any catastrophic injuries, I just need to get out of my own head a little bit while I'm play calling, get to the line a little sooner. I think that things will go accordingly. I do have.
Let me ask you this, Gatto.
My division.
Coming from last year and to this year, off-season moves, the beginning of the season, how do you feel your team is development-wise and where do you see yourself going forward at the end of the season?
I think all the young guys that were developing last year have all progressed into starters. Justin Evans really holding it down at free safety. You got the tight end, O.J. Howard. Godwin, he's definitely going to be a number 2 receiver for us soon, depending on how much this Deshaun ages. And I mean, we just drafted a new starter at strong safety, Wembley. He's doing better than expected. He had 2 interceptions against the Panthers, I think, earlier this season. I mean, there's a few spots. We got a rookie nickel corner that's really exceeding expectations. Lindsey. But, you know, there's still a few spots in the team that really need to be addressed with youth, particularly the O-line, maybe a jolt of youth to inside the D-line and outside linebacker. But as far as, like, past teams that I've dealt with, this is definitely, like, more like Band-Aid fixes for the team as opposed to overhaul fixes. And I don't know. I just like where the team's at. I've got 4 key re-signings this off season for the team. So.
Yeah, I noticed that you re-signed Quan Alexander, and
Yep.
for people who haven't been following the Buccaneers or don't really know the roster like that, Quan Alexander has really become one of the more almost elite
He's
linebackers
filthy.
in the league, and standing next to
Levante.
David,
Yeah.
and having that talent behind McCoy and
Mike Daniels now too.
Well,
Yeah, he
Daniels,
went out and got McDaniels last year.
Yeah.
So-
McCoy should be back from injury
Yeah,
after
it's a
my
nice
bye
little-
week too.
re-signing.
But no, if I got to pick 2 things, like right now, if I could just upgrade my team, I would pick left tackle or left guard. One of the two. They're equally as important to me right now. And halfback. I have like a crazy halfback committee. I just need to find a cowbell running back. I need someone that can just get it done. We got Charles Sims back from injury, so we'll see how that goes. But I think,
Man.
considering how this
Word
Madden works,
on the streets is the Buccaneers could have potentially had a great tackle. Oh, but spit in the face of the trade.
yeah,
But we won't talk too much.
Mike couldn't quite sell his house down in Tampa. The market had crashed on him. He couldn't quite make the money back. He was contractually obligated into this new contract, 4-year extension.
I seen the email of the sale almost complete. This is a lie.
The paperwork didn't get to the league offices. What happened with the real life Cleveland Browns?
Oh god.
Selling for this, right? All right, I think we're all saying we feel with the Wizards revolving into the division and Gato where he's at with this
So
team that he can definitely. This is his division to lose.
Let's talk East. NFC East, this is a team, our division, that we were looking at all these new users for these teams coming into the season, with DMX as my dad being fairly productive in his first season when he took over for the Giants. But yeah, no, we got Skills at 4-2. We got Chris at 3-3. Giants are 2-4.
He's actually 5-2 now.
Oh, he's 5-2. Yeah, excuse me. And then
Yep.
Turi left the Eagles at 0-6. Yeah, I can only imagine that Carson Wentz and company can do better than 0-6, given if they get a new user. But for the time being, we were talking earlier in the intro how the Cowboys and the Giants had beat up on each other already this season. If the Redskins get 1 or 2 more key wins, I feel like they could be starting to run away with this thing.
Yeah.
I mean, they're
Redskins
3-1 in
definitely
division. Cowboys are 3-1 in division. as well,
Exactly.
though. Okay.
The Cowboys went out and they totally tried to revamp that defense. They picked
They
up
spent big
Aldon
money.
Smith in free agency. Big bread. Then followed that up with a trade to pick up Von Miller from Denver.
They broke bread to
he
get a
has
pass blocking
rushers.
right tackle too.
Right.
Good
He didn't
pass
break
blocking
bread
right
quite
tackle.
like Denver or Chicago, but he paid.
Yeah.
But that team's defense is definitely there. The only thing that's holding them back is just the inconsistency from Chris as a user. He gets some times where he's beating himself up. He'll have the win laid out for him, and he'll go away from what is helping him, and then he'll start losing the game for himself. So that's scary. And with the Giants, it's surprising to see him at 2-4 because last season he was playing